How are we gonna start this? I don't know, but let's just go for it. Ooh, my hair looks cute. Okay. Anyways, so at the beginning of the year, when I was drafting out all of the different songs and when I decided that I want each, or I was trying to include a classical music melody, aka interpolation, in each one of the songs, I listened to a lot of like most famous classical songs, stuff like that. In my head, as I was thinking about it, I thought, well, if I'm doing it, they might as well be relatively known melodies that people can at least subconsciously recognize. And Felix Mendelssohn's Overture from A Midsummer's Night Dream came on, which is like this beautiful strings arrangement, and it plays these chords. It goes like that, but it's like in strings. He scored the Shakespeare play, A Midsummer Night's Dream. And the overture from that is the famous part. And I was like, oh my gosh, those 4 chords, that sounds like kind of magical, but also fun and light and breezy. We should make that the June song. And initially I thought that was gonna be just the intro. But then it felt too dramatic. I was like, in my head, I feel like June is a lot more lighthearted. And so I was like, how can I take these chords and turn it into something a little bit more refreshing? So what I did is I broke them up in music, you would call it arpeggiated. And when I was producing the demo for this, I put it in like these little pizzicato strings and then started layering everything over it. So one of my favorite things about this song, the June song, is that this loop of the Felix Mendelssohn A Midsummer Night's Dream chords goes throughout the entire song. You hear it in the intro, and then like lyrics and melodies get built on it, and other melodies go over it, like the guitar, the trombone. But in the background, if you really carefully listen to the mix of the song, that melody keeps going on loop over and over. So it's this. So it's like that steady melodic stream under the whole thing, which I thought was really fun. I'd never done anything like that before, and it was a challenge from a songwriting and production perspective. So it was very fun. But now let's talk about how I wrote it. All right, go. Suntan, sunscreen, strawberry, ice cream, midsummer's daydream, sipping in between long days, warm nights, gliding like light kites, sapphire, clear skies, whipped cream, cherry pies. I came up with this when I went grocery shopping with my mom and my brother in Trader Joe's back in February, early February. And at that point, I'd already written all the songs up till April. And so I was missing, I had the May song from last year. And so it was at June. I was like, oh my God, I gotta come up with this, because I like to have some time to process these songs in my head and like listen to them in different environments before I decide that this is the song I want to release. And so we were going around Trader Joe's, and I was just scrolling through my phone and the photos from last year's summer. And I was like, what if the June song just lists all of the most aesthetically pleasing activities about summer? And one of the first lines that came into my head was suntan, sunscreen, gotta get that SPF, strawberry ice cream. And that sort of like kicked off this entire list. I just wanted it to sound and feel like an aesthetically pleasing Pinterest board. You know what I mean? Just like listing all of these great romanticized things about summer. And then I wanted to throw in Midsummer's Daydream, Midsummer as an homage to the sample that's used in the song. But I wanted to say daydream instead of night dream, because I felt I had in my head the idea that the June song is going to be summer days, July song, summer nights. So there's a little hint for July. All right, let's do the pre-chorus. Ooh, ooh, every year right around June 21st, yeah. Ooh, ooh, I slip in my swimsuit, dive in head first. That was the wrong chord. Verses are super choppy and fast and have a lot of lyrics. I wanted the pre-chorus to sort of counteract that and be a little bit more smooth and wavy, especially because the strings underneath are already going. So you want something that like counteracts that and goes a little bit smoother. Ooh, every year right around June 21st. You know what I mean? To kind of keep it smoother. And I wanted to say every right around June 21st because June 21st is summer solstice, which in some cultures is celebrated as midsummer. In Sweden, I think it's June 24th, but it's basically this week of June 21st, that's why I say right around June 21st, that cultures across the globe celebrate midsummer. And again, it goes back to the theme of A Midsummer's Night Dream and the sample that's used in the song. Let's go to the chorus. Everything's coming up roses, peachy, I feel like the world is finally swaying in the sunshine. Oh my, it's looking so fine, divine. Chorus, I just wanted something super easy, super breezy, something to capture the carefree feeling that me and I think a lot of other people get during the summer. And it's something about the fact that there are super long days, the fact that it's very warm, that it's still warm at night, that just brings so much serotonin and so much pure joy into our lives that I think automatically everything just seems better in the summer. I don't know if that's just me, but like this is the season I come alive. I'm like, yes, love it. So like everything's coming up roses. That line specifically was inspired by a song from the movie Begin Again. Yes, that's it, with Mark Ruffalo and Keira Knightley. I love that movie, love all the songs from that movie. And there is a song that she does in that goes, everything's coming up roses. So that whole line, like I feel like some of the vibes in the chorus of the song and like the bridge is definitely inspired by that movie and that specific song. And then peachy, I feel like the world is. I just wanted to use sort of a little less common, more unique expressions of saying things are going well. So I think everything's coming up roses and peachy are sort of things that sound really cute and adorable, but are not necessarily used as commonly, so they feel a bit more cool and aesthetic. All right, verse 2. Fields of lavender, Provence, where the evening walks, the fireflies with the twinkling of secrets, whispering sprinklers, bare feet, fingers running through vineyards. First verse to me is the feeling of American summer. Whipped cream, cherry pies, you know, that immediately makes me think of 4th of July. Suntan, sunscreen, strawberry ice cream. I feel like those are very, I don't know, to me they just stir images of an American summer. And because of that, I wanted the second verse to feel like a European summer, because I am European, and I took my inspiration from a trip that we took. First time we were back to Europe after we moved to California, and we did a little road trip on Côte d'Azur, so the French Riviera, and then we went up to Provence and Loire Valley. But when we were in Provence, it was super, super warm, like that heady, sweet heat. And there were fields of lavender everywhere because it was lavender season. And I wanted to capture that feeling that I think Americans especially romanticize about a European summer. Fields of lavender, Provence weather, evening walks. It just makes me think in my head when I was writing it, made me think of couples holding hands in old cobblestone streets of Provence towns in the night, because the climate there, it stays very warm during the night, very like the sweltering heat. And so I wanted to capture that sort of carefree, but also very romantic, magical, mysterious feeling of a European summer. Bridge. Linen dresses, straw hat masses, blowing hair through the wind as we're spinning, watercolor whirl, it's all just beginning. Probably my favorite lyrics from all of the June song. And I think because it captures the emotion that I want to get in a song within like some very concise lines. Linen dresses, straw hat messes. I love wearing linen dresses in the summer. I think it's such a good, how would I say that, analogy for how we feel in the summer. It's so light and breezy and carefree. And then straw hat messes because, you know, it's always windy and you always end up being a mess and your hair's flowing in your face, but it's kind of like an adorable, cute mess. And then it says blowing hair through the wind as we're spinning, watercolor world, it's all just beginning. Watercolor world because when you're spinning all the colors, if you have your eyes open like an idiot like I do, then everything, all the colors start to melt together and it almost looks like you're looking at a watercolor version of the world. And then it's all just beginning. It's because June 21st is the official beginning of summer. And we're back to Felix Mendelssohn and Midsummer's Night Dream. But yeah, that is the song for June. I've been trying for a few years now to write a summer song that would feel like this, and I never was quite able to get there. So I'm very excited that June came together the way it did. Yeah, this is it. I have nothing else to say. Watercolor, my God, that's terrible. We're gonna go again. You can tell I never play this with the piano. Oh, okay, dumb.
Everything's coming up roses, peachy. I feel like the world is finally swaying in the sunshine. Oh my, it's looking so